Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. How's everybody doing out there, Crypto Stew fans? I'm up to 49 subscribers. That is six more than I had just a few nights ago when I made my last video. What should we talk about today? I was going to make another video about Ramsey, this guy Ramsey, who's a investment guru and what a moron he is, but instead, I ended up having a brief text conversation with my friend. I won't use his name, that would be indiscreet. Alan, my friend Alan. Shout out to Alan. I had a conversation with him about crypto that I wanted to share with all of you. It was very brief, actually, but me and Alan go back a long way, and I remember back in 2017, he asked me about Bitcoin because he knew I had some, and he was asking me about it. It was right around Bitcoin was right around 14,000, and I told him how I'm invested in it and I like it and I think it's the future, and I had only positive things to say about Bitcoin. And then Bitcoin went from a week or two went by. Bitcoin went from 14,000 to 17,000. I remember asking Alan if he bought any Bitcoin. He said no, that he was hadn't gotten around to it or whatever. Then Bitcoin topped out at 20,000, and then the bottom fell out of Bitcoin, and over time it went from 20,000 all the way down to 3,000. And I remember how happy I was that Alan didn't buy any Bitcoin because I would have felt so responsible because he came to me, he asked me about it, I said positive things, and then uh, it didn't work out. And if Alan lost even $1 because of me, I don't think I could live with myself. And it's really it's one of the problems in investing that exists is friends asking you for investment advice. You feel I don't know about other people, but I feel responsible for them, which is why I've stopped giving people investment advice because there's really no upside. Either you'll help them make money, in which case they'll most likely credit themselves, or they'll lose money, in which case they're very, very, very likely to blame you. So, as a general rule, I don't give people investment advice anymore. What I will do is tell people what I'm doing, and that's what I do with this channel. Is I'll tell you what I'm doing, and you can do whatever you want with that information. You decide that Crypto Stew makes a lot of sense, and I'll do what he's doing. You go right on ahead. Or hey, Crypto Stew's a moron, and I want to know what he's doing, so I know not to do that. That's cool too. But so I remember how glad I was that Alan didn't buy any Bitcoin back then because of how responsible I would have felt if he had. But in the end, I mean, I bought Bitcoin and I was in it and I bought it and I went all the way to the top, 20,000, and kept buying it all the way down to 3,000 and kept buying it as the 3 year bear market, as was at 3,000, 6,000, 9,000, went up to 14,000 for a second, then right back down to 3,000. I was buying that whole time because I believe in Bitcoin. I believe it's the future. I never once got angry because of the money I lost, and I took a beating in that bear market when it went from 20,000 to 3,000. I never once got angry. I didn't throw anything. I never yelled. I was never using money that I really needed. I was never using money that had to go to the rent or the bills or anything, which is an important rule for anyone is you cannot be using money that you're going to need anytime soon. But once your bills are paid and you have the things you need and the people important to you, if you take care of them, have the things they need, the extra money that's if I can't, for me, I can't think of a better place to put it than Bitcoin. But so fast forward to today, and Bitcoin's in the news again because we're right around 50,000. It's actually at 51,000 right now. And so Alan texted me again about cryptocurrency, but he didn't ask me about Bitcoin. He asked me about Dogecoin. So let's talk about Dogecoin. I'm not going to bore you guys with the history of Dogecoin because there's just no reason. You can just go to its Wikipedia page and see that it's a meme coin and blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to waste your time with that. But what's interesting is, of course, Elon Musk was the one who was messaging about Dogecoin draw a lot of attention to it. But what I noticed about that is, and I don't know if this was his strategy or if he's just some jerk off who likes to play on Twitter, but he was busy tweeting about Doge and tweeting about Bitcoin. But he didn't buy $1.5 billion worth of Dogecoin for his company. No, he bought $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin. And what was he busy tweeting about? Dogecoin. So he was getting all these 20-somethings to fall all over each other over Dogecoin while he was busy buying up Bitcoin. Now, was that misdirection? Maybe. If it was, I admire the strategy. I don't see anything wrong with it. Or I don't know. But if it was a strategy, good for him that he got attention off Bitcoin enough that it dropped a little. And he's already made like 40% on that Bitcoin purchase. It's a ton of money for him. He's made more money in Bitcoin in the past, month since he bought it. He's made more money in Bitcoin than he ever made selling cars. Think about that. So back to Dogecoin, because I know Alan wants to know about Dogecoin. And I know based on what I just said, you're going to think, oh, Dogecoin's for idiots, don't buy Dogecoin. That's not what I'm going to say. I'm going to say, well, let's look at the chart. Okay, so here's the chart. It came out, it had its initial spike, down, 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 spike, down, 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 spike, down, 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 spike, over and over again. This is since 2014. It has more of a history than most cryptos out there. So I don't have bad things to say about it because as long as you don't buy at the top of a spike, which we could be at right now, if you look at the chart, then you'll eventually get your money back or do well with it because you just have to wait for Snoop Dogg to tweet about it again and it'll spike again, and then that's when you can sell and either take profits or get your money out or save your money. So I don't consider Dogecoin, even though it has absolutely no purpose and there are so many of them. There's only 21 million Bitcoin that'll ever exist and 4 million of them are most likely lost forever. There's 128 billion Doge and counting. It has no max supply. It has constant inflation, just like your dollars do, though. So I like everything more than I like dollars. All right. I look at a dollar now and I just see dog poo. They just print trillions and trillions and trillions of them, and for some reason, people are willing to give me goods and services in exchange for these worthless dollars. And as long as they are, and as long as anyone's willing to give me Bitcoin for my worthless dollars, I bought some Bitcoin today. All right. So if people are like, "Oh, is Bitcoin at the top? Is it too late to buy Bitcoin?" I'm still buying. I am still putting my worthless dollars into Bitcoin. Doesn't mean that Bitcoin can't tank tomorrow, but you know what will happen if it does? I'll buy more. That's what I'm going to do because it's the dollars that I don't need. It's the dollars outside of what I need to pay my bills and to take care of my family. So those are my dollars to do with as I please. And honestly, if you handed me a table full of cash right now, I wouldn't know what to do with it except put it into Bitcoin. But back to Doge. What I would recommend, I don't make any financial advice because I'm not a financial advisor, but what I would say to anyone who's like looking at Doge is exactly what I would have said to them with Bitcoin, because you never know. Bitcoin can be volatile. I would say buy a little. Buy a little. If it goes up, you'll make a little money. If it goes down, buy more. If it goes down, buy more. That's more of my Bitcoin advice than my Doge advice, because Doge can go down and stay down for quite some time, and Doge doesn't really have any utility. Bitcoin has lots of utility. So, I do not recommend Doge because eventually it will spike. Eventually, Kim Kardashian will tweet something about Doge, and it'll go to 10 cents probably, and you'll be able to make a little money on it. But the long-term investment, in my opinion, is still Bitcoin. But I have nothing bad to say about Doge. The only thing, well, all right, I do have one thing bad to say about Doge. I just hope that these 20-somethings who are dumping into Doge right now don't get wrecked. Because if they do, it will sour them on the crypto market in general. And that will, again, be just misdirection. That keeps them away from the real investment, which is Bitcoin, Ethereum, synthetics. I'm not a Bitcoin maximalist. There's other coins out there that have a lot of value. And this technology is going to change the world. And that is why when it was going down and I lost a fortune the first time around, I just kept buying more because I believe this technology is going to change the world. So Dogecoin's not going to change the world. But it's a decent gateway coin. I hope people buy Doge and make some money in it, and then take that money and buy Bitcoin. That would be a great thing for them to do. I just hope they don't get crushed in it, and because I know there's a lot of new people out there to Bitcoin and cryptocurrency in general, and your first experience is so important because if it's a bad one, you may never get into it again, and this is life changing. I mean, what happened? I remember how much I hated that bear market, and now I look back on the bear market when Bitcoin was at 3 and 6,000, and I thank God for that. I don't want to get religious, but thank God for that bear market because it enabled me to accumulate so much more Bitcoin than I ever would have been able to if it had stayed at 20,000 or kept going up. If it had been at 20,000 and kept going up, I'd be lucky if I don't know, you don't want to get into exact numbers, but I would own a fraction of the Bitcoin I have now. And that Bitcoin is worth so much more now that you're talking about a real successful investment now, thanks to the bear market. So, and that's how that's the way I have chosen to look at Bitcoin, at crypto in general. It's very volatile. There could be some bad news that comes out tomorrow, sends Bitcoin to 25,000 when it's at 50 now. And you know what I'll do? I'll buy more. That's my plan. So that's my story about Dogecoin. For those of you who are thinking about buying it, I don't recommend it. I don't not recommend it. If you look at the chart, eventually it will spike. You might want to wait for a pullback, but who's to say it's going to pull back? I mean, who knows who's going to tweet about Doge tomorrow? That's what moves the price, is whenever some celebrity says something about Doge, is what usually moves the price. So you never know when that's going to happen. So, um, yeah, that's the story on Doge. You want to try to buy in the valleys and sell in the peaks, but it has enough peaks that it's actually not a terrible investment. You just wait for a peak and then you either get your money out or get some profits. So that's the story about Doge. I have a lot of great content. This actually video wasn't one I was going to do, but I have a lot of platforms I'm going to review. Honest reviews, because you can trust every word that Crypto Stu says, because I only have 49 subscribers. I have no reason to lie to any of you. No one's paying me to do any of this. But I really enjoy making the videos, so I'm going to try to do it more often. And subscribe if you're not subscribed. And feel free to comment, because I read all the comments and I'll see whatever you say. And yeah, until next time, Crypto Stu signing off.